Open to visitors since the 1950s, today's adventure takes us to the Ghost Town Museum in Colorado Springs. The museum portrays the Pikes Peak Gold Rush era, a period of time from the late 1800s to early 1900s.
There's the roundhouse over there.
General Manager Dave Harris says that the museum gives visitors the chance to see an authentic Colorado Old West town.
I use the phrase, turning your watch back 100 years, you're basically going back into the Old West and walking along the wooden boardwalk.
In the museum, you'll see a collection of shops and businesses from a small Old West town. Harris says the buildings themselves were rescued from abandoned ghost towns in the Pikes Peak region.
So all these buildings were basically reduced and taken down back in the 1950s and brought here and rebuilt. And each one of them is a small business that's as if it were in operation today.
These include a general store, a blacksmith shop, a print shop, a firehouse, and even a jail. Some you could walk into, like the Old West Saloon, which contains a rare player's piano. From the saloon to the boardwalk, there's a surprise around every corner. Pick up this phone to hear Lois Akers on the party line. She and her husband founded the museum back in 1954.
Use up my spuds before they rot.
Some artifacts in the museum date back to the mid-1800s.
There are not very many of these left in existence. By far, the Conestoga Stagecoach is probably our prized possession. It is an actual Abbott and Downing 1865 classic Old West coach.
Harris demonstrates how it works.
And that's basically the suspension system on it, so you would have been doing this. Talk about being seasick.
The museum houses a number of stagecoaches, old-time cars, and carriages. This carriage from the late 1800s came from Colorado College, right here in Colorado Springs. It's believed to have belonged to the former college president. With so much to do and see, the museum is a big hit with people of all ages. There's a shooting range arcade, and probably their most popular activity, gold panning.
We have lots of hands-on activities for kids. During the summer we do gold panning. This past year we had to basically suppress that because of the whole thing. We don't know what our timing will be on that.
And Harris tells me that he hopes to have gold panning back open for the summer, but that of course all depends on the pandemic. And more information can be found on their website, Ghost Museum Tours, or Ghost Town Museum, excuse me, Ghost Town Museum, I want to get that right, .com. We'll have a link to that website on ours, KOAA.com. Always watching out for you, Southern Colorado. Meteorologist Alan Rose, News 5.